Problem is, Camille being left up is a problem. Camille Galio, of course, a good combo. That's left up as a bait, though, because Taliyah, I think, and teams seem to agree, is the best jungler that people don't permaban, basically, on the table. So may well pick this one up, and that means Close is going to feel really comfortable on a very, very strong AP jungler.
And you are going to really have to worry about Twisted Fate as well. Okay, Cloud9 already jumping on it. They have seen this before from 100 Thieves. Lock in Taliyah early on. They always try and follow it up with either a Galio or a Twisted Fate so that you have CC set up from your mid lane. You also can transition to the other parts, the side lanes. Gragas here does fill a very flexible role for the squad, can go into the Camille, can be flexed into support role for Huhi as well. He's been extremely good at creating plays with it. They do have to worry about their bottom lane pick here for AD carry because the Twisted Fate play is going to be looking for them for picks. Camille can transition into picks as well, so you probably are going to be forced into a cleanse pick for FBI here, considering, Twisted Fate, and I'm assuming that they're going to have Vulcan on some CC as well.
Almost certainly. The meta game really is, teams are just picking hard crowd control down and support. Occasionally you do see enchanters, but most teams aren't going for that one there. Jack's going to be locked in as the Camille answer. That Sett is definitely going to be a support then for Huhi. It's been banned away in the second phase so often. They finally grab it early, so that Huhi is on, I would say, his most comfortable support.
Yeah, the support I think is great. This Sett support actually was what got Huhi recognized last year and really started to propel him towards stardom for the support role. Extremely good at utilizing the Hex Flash plus extra speed to chase down people, set up plays for the team. But what I'm really excited about is the Jax pick again for Ssumday. Try number 2, a little bit of redemption. His early game last time didn't receive a lot of attention and was picked on. Did not take advantage of the Jax advantage over Camille single matchup in the top side of the map, where one of the big things about Camille in your trading pattern in lane is trying to get your auto attack off to proc your shield for your adaptive shield. But Jax, the biggest part is, of course, your counter strike. You can't get your auto attack off for Camille, so you never get your shield proc, and he chases you down. He automatically wins that trade. It's one of the difficult things to work around, and your bump back on your hook shot is not long enough to bump him out of the counter strike stun range. And so he has a really good trump card in a lot of these trades, plus scales incredibly well. And once he hits level 6, then really becomes a brute to try and handle. But in isolation, that can be a strong thing for 100 Thieves. So I want to see how they craft the rest of this draft to try and complement that, because currently Cloud9 already sitting on global pressure with Twisted Fate makes that difficult to take advantage of.
Jax certainly can win the 1v1, but Camille can do a whole lot more on the map as well, of course. The single target lockdown is incredible. The combo with TF, very, very good. Can dodge ganks pretty reliably with hookshot going over walls. Jax needs a ward to make that happen, so can be a tough one there. We do not have tanks right now on the Cloud9 side. There might be Vulcan playing one, as Misfortune is locked in here for Zven. Vulcan will indeed get counter-picked down there. 100 Thieves will now lock in the rest of their bottom lane as they got to figure out what they want to play along the composition. Again, I think Xayah does work pretty well against TF. You can trade ult for ults as you just dodge a gold card, and the rest of the fight can go pretty okay. It means you don't have to run cleanse because you can dodge that first stun. You can dodge Camille ulti with it as well. It's, one of the only AD carries that goes untargetable, so if you are trying to live through Camille, it is indeed that, and we're going to get that Galio mid that we expected out of Damonte as a result.
Yeah, it plays right into the 100 Thieves playstyle. Once again, they're going to be looking to have him support those two side lanes. Ssumday, FBI, the big carries here. Braum is actually a pretty good pick for trying to shut down, popping up the wall, being able to lay some space as well with your ultimate to work with Misfortune. But it might be the more offensive roaming look here. And a Bard does put even more problems into piloting the Jax early on, because Vulcan can get out there to roam, and with his own ultimate can have long range plays to set up for these collapses and these picks for Twisted Fate. Cloud9 are going very pick heavy this time around. They are giving up a decent amount of what they have invested in early on in this series in all of these supportive picks with Moonstone Renewers healing you up. Yeah. This time around, they want to get picks and they want to get kills with them.
I need to chime in real quick because Damonte and Huhi are not swapping, so we thought it was going to be Huhi playing his tried and true Sett support. It is Sett mid for Damonte. The Galio goes down to Huhi. I love the flexibility because you look at Galio, you're like, that's a Damonte champion. Look at Sett, that's a Huhi champion, but they're going the other way around here. That's going to be fun to watch to see how that one plays out, because certainly Sett can withstand TF pressure pretty well. The regen's so high, and TF doesn't really poke you out of lane. Galio can certainly make the plays and zone people out as well. So should be a very fun one to watch for.
Yeah, and it does mean it is going to be a little bit difficult on bottom side, facing a Bard MF lane early on. We'll see how much pressure they can actually retain in lane. This might change how they try and set up, for the early stages for this river control around Dragon. And if you're actually going to be sending so much attention to the Jax Camille matchup.
You see the lineups on your screen right now. Game 4 is about to begin. We are on to the Rift right now. Going to be an exciting battle between these two giant teams in the LCS. Lock-in coming to a close this weekend. The first semifinals, one we're watching right now. People knew 100 Thieves versus Cloud9 was probably the closer of the two semifinals. And after C9 finally got themselves a win in Game 3, we're hoping that Game 4 can be just as close. I do not believe 100 Thieves was spotted on the way into this brush, but now Zven will be seen. Goes for Damonte. He will eventually catch Zven, I think even despite the W. Will get in range for the pullback. Nah, not quite. So good job by Zven, holding onto a skill point, learns strut, pops it. You get more move speed when you press W, otherwise it takes a while to ramp up. Gets out of range in time, and no harm, no foul.
Yeah, that's actually really funny because it is the MF who's able to get plenty of speed herself, and thumbs up from both sides. Fortunately for Damonte, of course, Ghost has a very low cooldown, so you often see, people popping their Ghosts in these level 1s because you have so much extra time still for minions to come to lane. Probably won't be taken advantage of in the slightest, but it did give the window for that ward over on blue buff that Fudge was able to get a little bit deeper and ward. So they know 100% for sure closer starting spot on red and can see the transitional period as well.
So pretty normal leashing on both sides. Closer going for somewhat of a full clear here with the red buff. Gonna not burn smite on this one, but probably on the Krugs as the autos knock that one down. Dual lanes show up, and this is pretty much full information. You wouldn't go to lane late just to fake the leash. It's not really worth that. So we know where the junglers are. We know they're going to end top side to answer the fact that it's a Jax versus Camille lane. You really want your junglers top side for that kind of stuff. Nice counter-strike is going to block the grasp of the Undying trigger, and Ssumday would still rather auto one extra time, but look at that. Good plays by Vulcan. Had a couple of health packs down there already. Knew top lane is volatile. Wanted to give about 130 health over to Fudge to make that lane a little bit nicer. And nice play right there.
Yeah, and he's also pushing. So you know that you have bottom side start Taliyah, so he can transition up to the top side to make sure you don't get picked off early on, punished for this pushing. And again, it's the stages before level 6 where Camille can actually gain control against Jax. If you're able to W and work around the counter-strike opportunities, but it gets really, really difficult with the brute force that Jax gets when he gets that level 6, extra passive damage, as well as being able to pop your ultimate after the counter strike, so that even after the short trade, you have a lot of answers for the long trade too.
Fudge feeling pretty comfortable with the fact that he's only chugged through a single potion, has a health bar lead, and a stacking grasp with CS still to grab means the lane's not too bad for him. Ssumday's already chugged through all 3 corrupting stacks though. And now here comes the interesting part, because the lane has turned around. Ssumday burned his health pool to get the wave pushed in so that it would bounce. Means Blaber has to be on the side of the map. You can see he's already swept the ward in Tribrush. He's playing for Scuttle Crab. And there is no dive now onto Fudge. He cannot be ganked. They know the jungler is around. Blaber passed pretty successfully. He'll even get top Scuttle, cutting off even more of Closer's options. Scryer's Bloom's going to reveal that, yes, indeed, the Wolves are done. He's either on Gromp right now really slowly, or he's gone to a recall or gone to bottom side.
Yeah, now it's going to be that more waiting period, a little bit less aggression from Ssumday that we're looking for towards level 6 to spike it right back up. Closer takes the opportunity to transition all the way back down to bottom side, knowing with that Blaber full priority on the top camp with the pushing Camille, plus the quicker clear for himself. His recall is seen, so you have a timing there, and you can factor in 40 seconds into him being right back on the map. Taliyah is actually a little bit faster because of the passive extra move speed by walls, but that's generally your mark early game before people upgrade to their tier 2 boots.
Boots picked up as well, of course. Yeah, the one nice thing to also keep in mind is we're kind of tracking Closer as spectators, but Cloud9's tracking them as players, is they also know that he started bottom side. Not only did they literally see the leash, but they could, you know, track that for everything else that was happening across the game. But now there's already a play towards mid lane. Perkz going to have to burn the cleanse. That'll be enough. Doesn't burn the flash. Holds on to the shorter cooldown summoner spell. No play for Damonte. He burned Ghost as well. But the knowledge was there that, okay, indeed, Closer is a bot side start. He's going to be on Krugs. He's going to go over to Raptors. And Blaber, already level 5, might be here for a bit of a play as Perkz and Vulcan are here to make sure that's all going to be safe. They get to shove the wave out, and that should, before too long, it should reset. I think 2-caster will not break that from being a freeze.
I want to point out the small things that Huhi does because he's been so good. You know, and we're all talking about, oh my God, he's so good. Look at these plays. It's not just the engages later on. That play right there was made because he goes for a timing that you don't expect. Both bottom lanes supports recalling, but he skips his base. Huhi roams immediately up towards mid lane instead of going for the base first. So it's a desynced timing on the support. Top side though, gank going off.
They get a slow at least. The jump's going to be to a ward. They're going to find the stun. The dodge zone comes out. Still some damage, but careful. You stand yourself in front of the turret. Blaber's low, but it's enough to get the kill. Oh my gosh, he almost dropped Ssumday. Nearly had the margins, but it's not going to happen. Here comes the flash under the turret. Getting away is Huhi and Zven. No aggro pulled, no harm, no foul. Turret's still going to lose one plate though.
Yeah, they get a little pressure on bottom side with the extra showing on top, but man, that kill was so close. Ssumday had successfully escaped, but wanted to finish off that one with his stun inside tower range. Blaber, he pulled out his calculator though, Phreak. No problem there. Knew he was getting out, able to calculate the extra 2 tower shots, willing to go into it. Honestly, though, pretty comical event as he does set himself up. Ssumday, he plays the escape really well. You know, that's the way to get out. And then he turns around, looking for the final turnaround and kill. But Blaber going to sustain off of the extra potion as well. Doesn't quite get it. Couple extra damage there, but it is going to significantly change. You know, he had been doing so well early on with the Jax. Part of it, pushing in a little heavily on Fudge and retaining what we've seen for most of this series, where he's had the upper hand. Nice little bit of relief provided by Blaber, even if it was risky and close.
End of the day, it's still an XP and gold lead for Ssumday. The 20 CS is more than enough to make up for the assist of 200 gold. And here comes the squad. Closer and Huhi are there, but don't worry, Vulcan's there as well with the Twisted Fate over the top. Is this going to get the kill off Huhi, though? A big pushback onto Fudge. He's got to be careful, but he's got reinforcements. 1 kill picked up. Flash to claim that one. He'll be stunned, though. This should be an easy kill, but he's asleep. Ssumday finally picks it up, and now Closer has to run from Blaber. He's going to burn the flash. He's going to stay alive. This will be the second one to come across, though. He's going to get the healing, though. They got to be careful. Vulcan doesn't want to steal it, but he has to. He had to take the kill. It was going to get away from him. Ssumday had the flash even, so the kill comes across, and it's still a great fight. 2-1 for Cloud9.
Big support plays, Phreak. Vulcan heads over so quickly with the Bard. And Champ Select, when we're talking about affecting the top side matchup, his transitional period here with Bard so quick across the map with the ultimate from Twisted Fate. Again, Cloud9 are investing more into topside, more into Fudge, more into an area of the map that they have had as a weakness for most of the series.
And it's been good. I mean, yes, the top lane is still going, you know, Ssumday favored in the sense that they both got a kill there. Ssumday still up in farm, but Cloud9 are there to answer every time. Vulcan's already here. TF's in range for the ult.
And again, so 100 Thieves, whenever you see them build up a 2-stacked wave like this, you have to think or at least have some answers in place to deal with the dive. And this time around, Cloud9 immediately closed the trap. You mentioned it, Twisted Fate, Vulcan immediately there. It still is pretty close. You can start to see, you know, Ssumday trying to fight his way out of it. They still get a kill, 400 Thieves. Ssumday does get some of the gold there.
Gosh.
Yeah.
He was going to die to the ult there, so good play by Perkz.
Yeah. So Fudge going down in the end to Ssumday. Ssumday's still in a good spot before the Jax matchup. And guess what? He's past the level 6 now, level 7 with the extra CS lead and got the last hit on that kill. So this is still going to be a 100 Thieves strength, despite Cloud9 having more overall gold for the team. they're going to continue to have to watch this top lane matchup. I mean, you already see it roaming up. Bard and Twisted Fate. They see a minion wave building by Ssumday. They immediately need to at least feint resources that they're going to send up there. They send 2 bodies to hover to make sure that they don't continue on the side of 100 Thieves to try and pry that open.
Now they knew Close was over there, right? They got the notification that Rift Herald was slain. They know who that is, and they said, okay, well, 2v1 dive is pretty reliable here. If he can't get away from the Jack stun, that's a combo, and that's the turret falling afterwards. So had to dedicate the play, had to make the move over. It means that Perkz drops a little bit of farm, as he has to just get away from that one. Closer is here again. He took 2 camps, came back to top side. Time to auto the turret down. Vulcan's here again. Fudge is to play outside of XP range. Huhi's already here. Perkz is on the way, but this time Damonte has made his way over. So until Blaber's in, it's a 4v3.
Yeah, they're just taking turret plates right in front of their face, Phreak, because they don't have the extra person. Lillia now. Blaber is heading up, but there's no danger for 100 Thieves. They brute force it down. They pop off the Rift Herald. They can get 4 of the turret plates off of this tower, and they force the contraction on the side of Cloud9 up to try and defend Fudge, and yet they still come out at a loss for Cloud9, hovering their resources there, not being able to get anything or do anything about this 100 Thieves power play.
Yeah, 100 Thieves getting mid lane pushed in by FBI. He just rotated to mid to hold that one. Bot is in a kind of a weird spot. I think it's actually grouping up and heading back towards Cloud9, so there's a whole bunch of farm for Zven to catch right here. That can kind of slingshot them a little bit. You can still see the gold deficit for 100 Thieves. Definitely still exists. Smite is burned. He's still going to have no problems getting the big chicken, so that'll be okay. You can see, yes, this bot lane indeed will go towards Zven. You should be pretty safe against Damonte down here. This really shouldn't be much of a problem, so he can play under turret until some kind of dive comes in. But top lane just stays 13 CS plus half a wave to claim. Blaber can show, but I mean, Ssumday is winning up here. The stun's going to land. They're going to put the ulti in as well. When is he putting down the rest of it? He's going to fall asleep. Is it enough to get the kill? The bonk, is it going to be enough? The Q, he's burning. I think he'll just barely live. Closer can't find the knockback, and Ssumday survives the gank.
He even dodged out the seed there. FBI now.
Has no ult, so gold card, can it be locked in? Oh, he can't get the stun against the wall. End of the day, Huhi was there anyway, so no kill to be found. Damonte is showing up again for the mid lane, gets a free control ward kill. Very active game for both these teams, trying constantly to make plays and various members in the solo lanes, but a lot of times they're just barely getting away.
Yeah, and with all of that attention towards the top side of the map, the Dragon has been forgotten. Nobody wanting to expend any extra resources on the bottom half because they don't want to give up in this stare down to Camille Jax. They don't want it to snowball out of control. Problem is, Jax has such a good time in the stand-up fights later on into the game versus Camille that Ssumday is going to have this priority now. And this investment from 100 Thieves has paid off already. He's also been playing his weak side really well, as you just saw in the last escape, barely getting out, and Closer coming to make sure that they don't get the kill. But it also enabled him to then pick up the double wave that was at his turret. So he got chunked extremely low, then still didn't lose any of the CS off of it, and still retains his CS lead on the top side of the map. Only now are the pings starting to go down towards Dragon with the differentiation in the focus, and they just leave that top side. Fudge walks his way all the way down. Ssumday has teleport. If they really wanted to fight it, though, for 100,
ooh, Smite comes through. Closer picks up the first dragon of the game. Gold card's locked. Here comes the Duncan for Sett. Galio coming here as well. They knock back Zven. Has to flash after Seismic Shove catches him. And Blaber's going to be caught out. The move speed's just too high for Huhi. Flashes in, gets the taunt, and that's 1 kill on the board. The dragon, of course, already claimed. So right now, good things for 100 Thieves.
Yep, they force it through, hard engaged. Vulcan on Bard has plenty of tools, should be able to just walk his way out to the north. I don't think Ssumday by himself will be enough to collapse on him and finish off this kill, but you never know if he walks into it.
TF reveals where he's going. Now they know where this one is, but if he ever jumps in, Vulcan just tunnels back over, so they're kind of at a standstill. There's the play. Yep, that last plant into the play. That's a nice one there, so Vulcan will have to burn flash. Good play by Ssumday. Had to get an extra move block somewhere, found it on the map, and gets the outplay.
All right, so 100 Thieves looking like they want to close this one out, shut down those Cloud9 hopes that sparked to life in the last match. And we're heading towards a transition where they send Ssumday and Fudge to bottom half now that the dragon is gone, won't have the extra people around. So Damonte starts it off with the Sett into Galio ultimate, creating this room, forcing the retreat from the Cloud9 members, and Huhi is able to catch up to him, lands the taunt, finishes it off here. Now with the lane on bottom side opened up, Ssumday here is coming with a full Blade of the Ruined King completed. And Fudge is going to have to try and answer quickly. See if he can actually finish up.
Yeah, Ruined King, just an absolutely incredible dueling item. It's just absolutely ton of damage. 10% current health for melee champions is a lot. And it's going to be different combat patterns, right? I mean, Jax is all about getting system auto attacks off. The Trinity Force, very, very synergistic with Camille, so it's why they're going for different types of items, despite really being locked into one-on-ones, where you kind of got to play the fights out, kind of regardless. Either way, damage items have come back for both junglers. We've got the more damaging Liandry's build out for Blaber on the Lillia. Of course, no Liandry's users on his team makes that a bit of an easier choice to make. Rocket Belt is in. Of course, for Perkz, that'll be really nice as well. Give him better target access. The most likely chem tank for Huhi. Move speed, just so good of a stat on Galio to make sure you can catch up to your opponents during the taunt. All beautiful stuff. Right now, though, a tied gold game. Plates have been gone for a while. Next dragon spawns in 2.5.
And honestly, this is what we wanted to see from this configuration of 100 Thieves in the offseason. Everybody was looking forward to seeing this Golden Guardians 4-pack from last year working together again, trying to build on their synergy, build on everything that they were able to work with last year and their focus and their control. But really, people are so excited to see Ssumday and how he's going to fit into it. You can tell so much confidence in playing this Jax in the 1v1 on the other side. The team converging, working so well with him for the dives coming up, perfect timing on the minion waves, also trying to allow him a little bit of alleviating the ganks from Blaber, trying to ensure that he can actually pilot this Jax Camille matchup, actually take advantage of it. And now they're setting him up. He's got 20+ CS lead for himself, Rift Herald in hand for 100 Thieves for even further turret control. And this is kind of ideal usage because once you're able to break down these side turrets, that's where the real fun begins. Your Taliyah plus your Galio combinations are going to allow you to deal with Twisted Fate possible picks where you have Bard ultimates locking people in place and Cloud9 are trying to collapse. It's 100 Thieves with so many answers, plus the stronger in the 1v1.
Shout out FBI right there. You saw him walk backwards. You knew the play was, I'm getting make it rain. He's going to Q the low health minion. Whoop! Not taking double damage. Pretty big play right there. Perkz shows up in mid. FBI not an easy target. Made sure he stayed out of range. But yeah. Also, I got to say though, FBI, I love that you're emoting. You got to get some new style though. All I've seen is the deal with it okay shades. I feel like we need some more, some variation, buddy.
Yeah, I think variety definitely is the spice of life, and this is definitely one of the extras that you're looking for in your gameplay. I think the first priority obviously is going to have to style on him. We'll see if you have a good Xayah ultimate dodging out on a full Cloud9 commitment. Maybe he goes a little bit harder. Nice ultimate, though, to deny the damage from Rift Herald. Still, setup work for the Dragon has been done. 100 Thieves flooding into the river. Crab Vision acquired already. And honestly, don't think that Cloud9 will have anything to say about it. Perkz has no ultimate on Twisted Fate, so should be a clean pickup.
It is going to be a clean pickup, so Dragon number 2 will be claimed. That means the chance at Soul is only at about 28 minutes. Plenty early. And oh no, Huhi, there was a wall in the way. That actually could have been a threat onto Zven, because that E into Flash W is Zven having to burn Flash to get away. Unfortunately, that wall was there, and unlucky.
It's also another emote opportunity, Phreak. Every mistake is an opportunity for you to take control.
Just say I meant to do that, I didn't want to go in anyway. It's fine, no worries here.
It's all part of the mind game. It
is.
Step, it adds up. All right.
Flash in place, I don't need this.
All right, let's see. Damonte with double summoners plus stride breaker completed on the Sett as well. I'm interested to see, because he's done such a good job, finding flanks for this team, moving in, clearing out the enemy vision. If he can actually do that on the Sett this time around too, because obviously his teammate Huhi has a lot of YouTube highlights with the champion. And it is going to take a little bit of an incision here, 400 Thieves into enemy territory. Both of the outer towers have already been taken down, but they do have to worry about Perkz' Twisted Fate ulti.
Well, the side lanes are moving pretty slowly, though. I feel like with 100 Thieves having this kind of composition, they would generally play it more actively. I feel like I would just see more TF ults and more picks and whatnot, but it's been a relatively slow game. And I know some of that you've mentioned is the fact that there are answers, right? Taliyah can show up, Galio can show up. It's way less reliable than just, yeah, we press R and they're dead. Congratulations, we did it. It's like, who do you target? Jax has 2 escapes. He dodges the gold card. You know, if it's really bad, Taliyah and Galio show up. The Xayah can dodge gold card the same. Like, it is tough, but it is very slow going for a team that wants to split this team up. And Cloud9 can't really do it. They're just losing dragons.
Yeah, and so they just have to keep on fishing with the Lillia seeds, looking for sleeps, and your Bard ultimate, got to just take that shot. If you can force a flash with it even, or even a Xayah ultimate, trading those two, will provide you a nicer setup for the engagement.
Slowly but surely, 100 Thieves, though, building their lead in this game. Look back at top lane. It's 45 CS now. Yes, Perkz finally got something done top lane, but 2 turrets died before Cloud9 ever got one back. They are kind of slipping everywhere. Jungle's down a solid 5 camps. The AD carries are basically close, and it is Cloud9, I think, kind of letting themselves lose a bit of map control time and again. Yes, Damonte is the lower priority wave catcher. It's Jax who's supposed to get all of it, so he's doing his best to keep up. He's third fiddle. He's number 3 in terms of getting what he's gonna need to play the game out, but like he'll still be high impact. It's tank set with a stride breaker. Like he'll find those stuns anyway. It's gonna be fine. Recall not stopped. Nice try, Perkz.
Yeah, I mean, that has been the moniker, Phreak. It's fine. Yep. Look for the team play. Here we go, though. They're making the attempt. Twisted Fate ultimate is popped, and as soon as you see in the jungle, there is Taliyah and Galio within range. Guess what? The intelligent choice comes through. They don't go for the dive because the 2 semi-global answers that we mentioned are on the mini-map already by red buff. 100 Thieves already anticipating, have their defenses in place, so you call off the play for Cloud9, Phreak. That entire sequence can just be absorbed by watching the minimap.
I don't know what that means. I've never done that in my life. I think the game's just unfair. Zven, nice. Gale Force gets away. Ults to clear the way, but careful, because Seismic Shove could have killed him. So only gets part of it, and that's turret number 3 going down. Cloud9 ultimates just do not get as much done as 100 Thieves ultimates.
All right. Honestly, another value ultimate, wall right through. Last of the outers is done. It's a step-by-step process here for 100 Thieves. And one of the most impressive things to me has been their focus through the longer games, where they continually still have the good setup that you see on the early stages, the early plays for them, later on as well. And they don't kind of skip steps of moving up your vision or counting the minion wave and then walling off at the correct time here. Ssumday you see rotating right back as the minion wave gets to the tower, picks up another one for himself. It's Trinity Force on top of Blade of the Ruined King now, and it just gets so painful for the Camille at this point. Not only does Jax have such great sustained damage and fighting pattern, as you mentioned, but with the Conqueror, he becomes one of the all-time, carry dreams of being able to drain tank plus deal enough damage to solo anybody in the game.
Yep. I don't think Ssumday has any bad matchups in this game. I think every 1v1 is good for him across the board. Sure, Vulcan's a freebie. You can kind of check that one out no matter what. But everyone else, I think he's still going to feel really comfortable with this one. And anyone else, even if it's not a great 1v1, they can get away down the line. It's going to be no problem. So it feels like 100 Thieves have all the cards. Perkz burns the ult to see if anyone's around. No one indeed is. They're giving away dragon number 3. Infernal Souls in 5 minutes, and Cloud9, all they're getting is a second turret. The only turrets that are dying are the ones that Perkz takes down really, really far on the top side of the map. But now we've got another fight going in. Damonte is ghosting in. He's going to find a dunk. He's going to find Galio, and just barely Perkz is going to live. Damonte tried to flash E, couldn't find it. Stun comes in. Wall's not going to cut him off. Sorry, you tried. A lot was burned, a lot was lost. Ultimately, no kills came through. A dragon for a turret, but that still feels like a famous 100 Thieves.
Yeah, I mean, the evasive maneuvers at least get their members out, so Cloud9 do escape. And look at this. Bottom side is now left unattended. Fudge, wait, did they saw all members, right?
Yeah, he knew there were 4 top side. That was actually turret he could have killed.
Yeah, I'm trying to see maybe if we turn their vision for the replay on.
If Ssumday TPs and FBI shows up, there's maybe enough of a CC chain, but I think yeah, that's Fudge balking too much.
I think that was for that was for sure.
Yeah, that's a turret.
Turret for them. Oh well, for Cloud9. Now it really does seem like they continually are on the retreat here, and 100 Thieves, every time they put together another move, they're able to get something out of it no matter what. Next one here, already you see deeper wards through the red quadrant leading up to the Baron. They're trying to move in with 3 members to take it over.
All right, so ward coverage going back and forth. Blaber gets found out. Big knock-up chain. MF over the top buys a bit of time, but Huhi is just so tanky. Sidesteps it all. Flash away. He will stay alive. Ultimately, it is summoners for summoners, and you can't blame either side too much for that one. It was a close fight. But 100 Thieves still gets to retain control of the top jungle. They get to get rid of the control wards and keep that vision dark to make a Baron setup all that more likely.
Yeah, I mean, those are both really valuable flashes. Obviously, the flash on Galio is great, you know, for their CC and for their team fighting. But Blaber, no flash for the jungle now for Cloud9 either, as Perkz is going to be able to chase off Damonte. No summoners, remember.
Barrier from move speed. Damonte can be chased down to 1,000, and he's got reinforcements first. It felt like he could have chased harder. He put the ulti on, and it felt like he honestly had an option, but now this is a real play. This is definitely an opportunity there. FBI and Huhi kind of caught out. He's going to get a big root, though, and here comes Ssumday, though, and that's going to be too much for Fudge to handle. Has to flash away. Nice dodge. Perfect timing. Ssumday will not be stunned. He will instead give FBI the kill onto Perkz. Beautifully done. It is straight back. Huhi did drop, so it's a 4-on-4 on the map, but Cloud9 having to run away first.
All right, see how hard 100 Thieves want to press this afterwards. FBI had such a good ultimate down there, avoiding the Perkz and Fudge threat. Double solo laners on him. He does not flinch. No flash blown. He fights them both off and actually opened up that opportunity you're talking about for Ssumday to chase down Perkz. Counter-Strike, perfect option into a gold card. Able to get the extra kill and retain their wards still left up on this top quadrant behind the Baron buff for them. 100 Thieves just get to reset and try again.
Get you a jungler that will sit there in front of a big chicken at 5 health and be like, it's okay, FBI, it's yours. That's so nice of Closer, you know? As an AD carry, that's so nice of Closer.
Your people, Xayah, able to get
what a homie.
Another one for himself. They want the long chase.
There we go. Fudge nearly cut off. Can jump over the wall, I do believe, but it might be on cooldown right now, so that's going to be dangerous. Pulled right back in, comes right back out. Had a way to get to the wall just on time. Still not going to matter. Ssumday grabs himself the kill. 4-4 on the scoreboard, but it feels all 100 Thieves this game.
Yeah, they're holding all the cards. They have all the powers. Let's see. Another pickoff. No big summoner blown there, but again, it's just getting worse and worse for them. Ssumday working on the Sterix gauge and approaching level 16 for the level 3 ultimate on this Jax. This might be one of the most fun stages, you know, to step in and play an individual champion. Is 3-item power spike Jax towards the late stages, level 16, tearing through these team fights or the side lanes.
Yep. And the farm lead's growing. He's probably got a level lead or 2 over Fudge right now. Just right now, only 1 full level, but probably grows before too long. He can do anything he wants. He's pretty much unkillable. Start of the game, I think 1-2-0. It was a pretty early assault into his lane. There was a lot of effort by Cloud9 to put him down, and it just didn't matter. He's only gotten stronger and stronger, and no one's going to stop him anytime soon. Dragon Soul in 20 seconds. Gold card poke doesn't really matter onto Damonte's Sett. He's just there for the team fights. It's going to be fine no matter what. And now, Cloud9, how do you stop this Infernal Soul? It's up in 10 seconds, and Fudge is top lane, not teleporting down. You can't just give away Dragon Soul. You've got to get your squad over there, but they're not really even getting vision back right now. Perkz can walk in for a little bit. They find just poke. Dragon's alive. They're going to miss the first ulti. It's just walked away by Huhi. When does the fight begin? When do they come down for this one? The TP has come in now for Fudge. He's on the backside of this fight. Blaber will have to get another Miracle Smite to keep this one competitive at all. Damonte walks in, gets Vulcan's flash down. Damonte still has his own flash to find that flank pull. to find someone to put back into his team. Here comes the Taliyah wall. Does separate Perkz a little bit, but not that much. It was a good walk-up. Big MF will to get some low as well, and it's going to be grabbed by Cloud9. Team fight begins. Galio over the top, doesn't find a knockup just yet, but it's 1 for 0 to Blaber. Vulcan very, very low. 2 kills picked up. 1 traded back. 3 for 1, though, and it cannot be enough. Ssumday can't 1v9. The whole team dropped because it was Zven. Of course it was. The MF ult put them all so low, and now it's time for Cloud9 to go for Baron.
The Cloud9 comeback still has life, Phreak. As close as 100 Thieves push them to the edge. They make their stand on the Dragon Soul. Deny it. Look at this fight. So Fudge teleports in for the flank on one of these 2 wards through the back of the jungle. But really, Perkz starting out getting the big chunk onto Closer. Then it's just opening up MF ultimate here with the snare. Closer flashing in to try and go for it, but Blaber locks up the smite. He denies the smite. He also puts them in the compromising position. They can then turn around, finish off Ssumday, and 100 Thieves are stalled off once again. Cloud9 are making you sweat, but they have been able to do it. Now wearing purple, get to go take out a bunch of money as well with the extra standing towers left here in mid and bottom.
The last best of 5 that Closer, Damonte, FBI, and Huhi played was a match they were expected to win. 2-0 start, reverse swept. The best of 5 they're playing right now is a matchup that after you watch the first game, you're like, all right, these guys are going to clap. They didn't even win in game 3, and they're on the way to a reverse sweep. But now, nope, they get a cleanse. They burn flash, and they get a cleanse. And now Damonte gets a stride breaker. Be careful. That's going to be 1 stun coming through for the Bard. Damonte just can't go anywhere. Red card is unlucky. It doesn't matter. Zven finds the kill. And 100 Thieves are running out of runway for saving this game.
Yep, Cloud9 going straight down mid here. That'll be secondary turret mid. Plus, it's going to open up Fudge on bottom side. Level 16 should be able to work down that other tower. Flash away from Perkz.
Going to be dodging the gold card there as well. Fairly long cooldown, but shouldn't mean too much regardless. There's not much more of a play to be had, and they're going to save the turret for at least this wave. 20 seconds on Damonte. That will be about in time for the next wave to show up.
All right, so Lillia's Sleep is available. Vulcan doesn't have the Bard ultimate, but they still have the combo. Lillia's Sleep into MF ultimate. Lillia's Sleep does not break on damage over time, which MF ultimate is coded by. So you can channel it over them while they're sleeping if nobody else breaks it. Could be one of the ways that Cloud9 could actually finish it off and win this one.
They might get the inhibitor here, a big chunk on a Ssumday, because Fudge landed the empowered Q2 with Trinity Force, and that was about 800 damage right there. Mid lane might fall. Zven has to respect the feathers, and you can see him twice try to bait it away and then got out. Nicely budgeted there. Here comes the big play. They're all going golden, and here comes the bullet time to surrender the game. A quadra kill. FBI is on the run, and they're gonna give it to him. The Bud Light Ace and a pentakill for Zven. What can't he do? Yes, there was a team setup, but it still came down to the MF. Cloud9 on their way to reverse sweep. They're gonna bring it to game 5 in our first best of 5 of the year. We're gonna get silver scrapes in the LCS.
I would not be surprised if Zven had a C9 win tattooed over his heart. My goodness. These misfortune ultimates, the Senna play in the previous game, even in the losses, he's doing his best to carry. And Cloud9 bring it back. 3 dragons given over. Set themselves up against the Soul Point. They win the critical fight. Baron picked up. Immediately back-to-back fights, 1 Phreak. And the game is closed. We get silver scrapes. We get to fight for it all here. The chance that spot in the finals is still up for grabs.
That is fun. That is exciting. And I mean, I gotta feel for those players on 100 Thieves, though, because their trip to Worlds ended getting reverse swept by a team they 3-0'd and then started 2-0 against. I'm talking about Golden Guardians versus TSM, and they couldn't pull it through in the clutch. Here they are up against Cloud9. The first 2 games looked convincing. Game 3, it felt so much about Jax versus Camille, and it was a kill lead and 50 CS. You can walk this one in as Jax. That's a free match for the rest of the game. But Blaber got the Smite Steal to stop Dragon Soul. The Misfortunal dropped 3 people down to 10%. And suddenly, you're playing team fights. You're playing team fights, and you got just completely smashed right there. And then, bam, the Beautiful Bard ulti out of Vulcan, sets up the rest of the bullet time. The chase down is obviously free at that point. And Cloud9, I mean, they've got momentum certainly, but these games are close.
They do. I wouldn't have it any other way, Phreak. Glad we're getting a full best of 5 for this one. Set up an epic weekend.
It is an epic weekend. Beautiful stuff right here. Waiting to get the cue that we're okay to go to commercial because I don't know if we're ready. I mean, it's just been so action-packed, so back and forth. We are, in fact, ready to step away. So when we come back, Game 5 of 100 Thieves versus Cloud9. Do not go anywhere.